Oh, check. Okay, cool. What's the deal, Jackie? God bless you too. K-pop Muslim hunter. I get what you're saying now. What's the deal, newbie? Can you lose your salvation? Like you can give up your salvation, yeah. Are you 30? No, I am not 30. These are wild questions to start the day off. I'm gonna just let y'all know right now. Ooh. Alright. Oh my god. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I've been traveling recently. That's why I haven't been live. I remember you turning 30. It's impossible because I'm not 30. I don't know how you remember that. No idea how you remember something that hasn't happened. Prayerfully, I get to reach 30. You feel me? One day. One day I'll be able to reach 30. Maybe one day. Um, so I don't know if on YouTube I turned on text to speech for gifts for super chats. I'm not positive. I guess we'll find out if I get any super chats this live. We shall see. I'm I'm not 100% I don't know how all of that works. Um, I tried something, so I guess we'll see. Orthodox Muslim believes that Jesus is God, just not the Most High God. Surely that would go, yeah, that obviously goes against Islam. ALC, what's the deal? Ted Beast, what's the deal? Oh, Ted, my fault. I don't know why I said Ted, but Ted Beast is actually cool. I'm keeping it. I ain't say nothing wrong. Appreciate you, Machete. What's the deal, Machete? I pray all is going well with you and your fam.
Walk with Desperate has donated NZ $2.00 and says 137 p.m. read this robot.
Okay. All right. So definitely do have text to speak. um, what I need to do is figure out how to get rid of all of that extra stuff. So let's see if I could get rid of like the extra stuff. Um, dang, I don't even know how I did that. Uh, All right. So it sounds like a 1980s speaking spell. Bro, their voices sucked. Their voices absolutely sucked. Instant follow, appreciate you, bro. God bless you. I don't even know how this is happening. What's today's topic? Today's topic is that there's no reason to be a Muslim. Um,
Alak has donated $5 and says 139p Maja Faretio Blitzfuft Goijut Didik Stick Jave Thoing Sfakaj.
this is gonna be actual torture. Hold up, man. I gotta fix this. Hey, yo, I gotta fix that, bro. Hold up, bro. No reason to be of any religion. You could request that. Dang, bro. I don't know how to fix that, man. But there wasn't like any good voices, bro. Like that was like the best voice. That was the best voice that I could find. What do you think about Demon Slayer and people saying it's demonic? It's people slaying demons, bro. Like, what you mean? What you mean? And Tanjiro is like, I think Demon Slayer got Christian themes for sure. Like him being pure at heart. Like even in a movie of trying not to have a fighting spirit, like not to, even though you're taking someone out, not to do it with like malicious intent, I guess. Even though these people bring so much hate against you, you could see like the heart that Tanjiro has for these demons. And I think that's Demon Slayer does a good job with displaying obviously all the vices that these people have ran through, whether it be like anger and rage and revenge, and then connecting them back to who they were before. At the moment of their death, and then you see this sorrow with not being able to right the wrongs that they've done. So I mean, I really like Demon Slayer. Someone told me you're relying on your powers instead of God's power to defeat demons. Oh my days, bro! Like, come on, bro. It's a show. It's a show, bro. Like, come on. I don't think it's demonic though. I bet I could watch Demon Slayer and tell you how it's evil, but I won't. You probably could, like, you could, like, if you were to just like make an argument to say that it's demonic, I don't think it would be necessarily hard to do. It just depends as to how you gonna go about it. What's the name? But ALC tried to shut my entire computer down with that last with that last super chat, but appreciate the $5 super chat, man. Let's see if we could get some people in here. If you guys can share the live, because people don't get notifications that I'm live. So let me actually text the homies. Oh, and here I'm gonna set up the YouTube link, so if anybody wants to come up on YouTube, you guys will be able to come up. Let me set that up real quick. Light, dang, Light, I didn't call you back when I landed. My fault, bro. I apologize. Light and I had I think it was like 163-day streak on TikTok, and he lost it. out of pure negligence. He just lost it. Nah. And the crazy thing is that Light and I spoke the day before about, hey, bro, like, you gotta make sure we don't lose this streak and woo woo wow. Like, we just spoke about it, and then the next day he was like, I'm not finna send nothing back to him.
You know, it's crazy.
Hmm.
I'm the one that's always trying to keep that streak alive. But the one time I depend on you to try to keep it alive, you fail
No,
miserably.
I sent something that day. You didn't send anything back.
Go look at the messages. Look at look at whose messages are last.
Oh no, hold on. It's actually not. I remember now. It's not my fault. I
Uh-huh.
was in Hawaii.
Oh wow,
So
you couldn't send me a
no, no,
TikTok
no, no,
in
no, no, no,
Hawaii.
no. Hold on. So when I sent the message, it was 9 o'clock for me. So it was still the same day. But because I think you were the one to start the streak, it goes off of your time zone. So the
Right.
day has passed.
Anything right. Anything to just not keep the streak alive.
No, no,
Right.
no. I so when I text back at 9, I was like, dang, like what happened? You feel me?
Mm,
Heard St. Augustine's confessions are low key tough. St.
they are.
Augustine's confessions are low key tough, not gonna lie to you. Please make Elisa mod. Is she like that for real? Like, is she deserving of mod for real? I guess
Ooh.
if as a girl on YouTube, if y'all wanna be part of the YouTube fam, please go subscribe to me on YouTube. If Walk says that she's good, then I have nothing else to do but to trust his word. Um, Boom. We adding people to the wrench family. Very few people get wrenches. How long you been live for? 11 minutes. What's up?
Yo,
I'm sorry. You got to be 18 to be up here.
I am. I'm 19.
You're 19. What year were you born?
2006.
Okay, bro. What's up?
Hi.
Hi. Are you Muslim?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Are you Muslim?
Yeah.
What's up? Why are you Muslim? Or, yeah. What's your reason for being a Muslim?
I guess I've always had a strong connection with the religion. And I guess every time that I acknowledge it and I practice it, always feel lighthearted and I always feel happy.
You feel lightheaded when you practice the religion?
Sorry, no, lighthearted.
Oh, lighthearted when you practice the religion.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just because something might make you feel good, does that mean that it's true?
No, but I think it's just a different feeling. I'm an ex-Christian actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a totally different, like, I studied Christianity thoroughly, and I just think it's a different feeling from Christianity, in my opinion. Like, no disrespect to you at all, like, no disrespect to you at all, but
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, I felt like I've always been closer to Islam.
I mean that's fine, but your quest, right, shouldn't be based off of just what you feel or how something makes you feel emotionally, whether that makes me feel good.
Well,
But
that's just a part of it.
okay, so like because I could give a lot of things that might make me feel good, but it doesn't mean that I should do those things or follow those things.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So what's the thing for you that is it actually a good reason to be a Muslim?
I feel like everything that we practice
Mm-hmm.
in Islam, like, I feel like all the restrictions and all the rules that are in Islam always end up being for the better. Like, I used to be a really heavy, like, when I was 16 all the way up to 18, I was drinking a lot. I used to drink a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like now that I've become Muslim and I've given that up, I feel like life's just been a lot better. And even if you don't want to follow those rules at the moment
Mm-hmm.
that you decide to follow them, it always has a better outcome, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I mean, you can find those things in Christianity as well. Like I think that there are certain rules in Islam that aren't good, right? And when they're followed, even today, they're really bad. They're really bad things. So you can find. I'm glad that Islam has helped you in stopping drinking, especially at such a young age. I'm glad that you've come out of that. You can have that same discipline, if not more, in something that's true, like Christianity. You don't have to link yourself to something that's not true just so you can stay disciplined. You can be disciplined in Christianity and believe in something that's true. Hello? Okay. YouTube could see I did not drop. She just left. I'll be listening. I gotta go back to the air side. I don't know what that means, but for sure. I see my goat is in the chat, I believe. Shout out to Cam. Uh, is my fiance in here? I believe so. Shout out to her. And she is in here. Yep, she just accepted this guest. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Not much.
Are
No.
you chill?
Am I chill?
Yeah, because a lot of these Christians and Jewish, like Muslim lives, they like to be very hardcore, and I just like to have the most milquetoast conversations with them.
Well, I mean, so this is apologetics. This isn't evangelism. So
I understand, yeah.
yeah, so for me personally, nah, I'm just playing. Nah, I'm chilling, bro.
Just be chill
Yeah,
because
nah, I'm chilling.
because I am like very rare. I hear on here on TikTok. I'm a true atheist.
Mm-hmm.
Like matter of fact, right?
That's
Because
you? You a
I
true
was
atheist?
raised Christian. I was raised Christian, and yet modern day, as an adult, I kind of don't believe in the fact that the Christian God exists. Therefore would consider me an atheist. But yet, I keep everything very softcore. And if anybody likes to present any type of proof of their God, it would need to be like anything that would be upheld in a court of law. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Am I unreasonable in that tactic? Hold on to is anything other than just wishful thinking. You
What's
know
the
what I mean?
difference between a true atheist and a false atheist? Or like a not, I don't know.
Right.
What's this distinction you're making?
A true atheist only makes the claim that the God propositions that you're presenting to me, I'm not convinced, right? But a false atheist would say, a false atheist would say, the proposition of God that you presented to me has absolutely no merit and is absolutely not true, right? Those are two different claims. Do you agree?
Okay,
One
so do you
person
just
claiming they are not convinced, and another person saying that what you claim to be fact is absolutely not true. Do you agree that there's a
okay?
difference?
All right. So do you just want an argument for God's
No, 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 no,
existence?
no. I'm not. I am not here to argue. I'm sorry if you think that
No,
is
no, that's not what I
my
said. That's not what I
position.
said. I said, do you want an argument for God's existence?
As an atheist, absolutely I do. But I'm not here to argue that God or your God or somebody else's God is absolutely not true because of what I believe or whatever BS somebody told me. That's not my position. My position only holds true. The God
Okay,
claims
okay.
that a lot of people like to make,
Mhm.
I'm not convinced of it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about this, or did you just want to get that off of your chest?
No. I wanted to talk about it because remember,
Okay, all right.
Bible
I don't
says
need the because. I don't need the because. I just needed a yes or no so we could get through this conversation. Uh, so, um, so here I'll give the argument for motion. Right, change exists. Do you agree or disagree? And by change we mean the change exists.
changes happen. Yes, I agree.
Okay, and by change, you know that we mean that a thing goes from what it potentially could be to what it actually is. Right.
No, I disagree to that.
Okay. Why do you disagree?
Because you're talking about something that is potentially something to something that is potentially something else. No, I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Something is just is, and something else is, and something else is just is. There
Okay.
is no potentiality into any of that.
Okay,
Do
so
you agree? Do you agree?
no,
Something
obviously I
can
don't
just
agree.
be is, right?
So
Do
you're
you
saying
agree?
are you saying that a thing goes from pretty much non-being to being?
No, wait, that's a 100% different conversation. Do you
I'm
agree?
asking what you think change is. Like what's your account
Change
for
is something being into turning into something to being something else.
what causes that? What causes that change in being?
Who knows? It could be something natural. Could it be not?
Yeah, potential would be natural.
Difference in temperature, difference difference in altitude, different in depth, different in whatever. There's certain plants that produce more seeds or
Yeah.
produce
So
more acorns
what we're
because they were able to take more sunlight than
I
other
have
of the
like a
plants,
couple more
right?
minutes of this, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. So
Right. I
when
understand this is very soporific.
I can't do it.
So by far your funniest conversation.
I can understand why you haven't heard an argument. You've never given anyone 30 seconds to have a conversation. Uh, like, bruh.
Yeah, I might disagree with the background.
Does anybody see a guess? Hey, can you,
He's up here. He's up here.
I don't see him at all. Can you drop down and request back
So
up? I don't see him at all. Oh my God. He's just
he's up
gone for
here.
some, I
Yeah, he's up
mean, if you say so, so I'll put his thing up, but all right. So what's up, bro?
Oh, I disagree.
Why? What's a good reason to be a Muslim?
Well, I
Is
can think
this
of
wait? Is this Huso?
might be.
Yeah, it is. What the heck?
Is he a
Hi, Huso.
troll?
No, he's not a troll.
Is he actually Muslim?
No, he's not Muslim either. He's a Christian. He's
Yeah,
from a very long time ago too. This guy's been off the app for a minute.
he used to have like the profile pic with the white dude. Was
I
it
don't
like?
remember his profile. I don't know how you remember. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's like 72 reasons I can think of.
Shut the. All right, bro. I'm gonna move on.
You remember? Do you remember Wave?
Yeah,
I
of
think he
course.
just joined the live. Do you remember him?
Yeah, of
He's
course.
agnostic now.
He's agnostic.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, he's in here. He's in here. Wave, come up, man. He's agnostic now.
Dang, bruh. What happened, Wave? Hold
Can
on.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, hold on one sec, bro. I know that this would be more profitable.
I thought this was only Muslims, bro.
Nah, what happened, bro?
Wait, like, how'd you know I was agnostic now? Or not really agnostic, but like, oh, were you on your friend's
I was
live?
on a Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my bad. My time got cut short there. Yeah, hold on. I got real quick. Hold up. Um, yeah, no, I feel like I've been kind of in a standstill, right? So, like when I initially converted to Christianity, like what that'd been like earlier this year, right? I kind of just had like a personal experience, right? And like I
Yeah.
knew about Christianity because like I was raised up in it, but like I didn't know like too much like biblically,
Mm-hmm.
or even like philosophically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so when I started reading the Bible, like I read the Gospels, and like the contradictions, like even if there are any, they don't really bother me, because like they're obviously like separate accounts, different accounts of the same person, right? But I guess the biggest things for me, right, is that when I started like thinking more about like stuff like maybe like a month or two ago, like philosophically was, I really don't know if there's any like strong evidence for God, and we can get into that, but like also like biblically, like when I was reading the Gospels, right,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like a lot of like the quote unquote prophecies kind of like I'm sure you remember that one time I came up here asking you about like the messianic prophecies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of them they kind of like if I don't want to like assume me being God or anything, but like uh if I was to like have the Messiah come and then all the prophecies in the Gospels, at least a lot of them are just like kind of typologies. Like it's just kind of confusing to me that like I feel like I don't know, it's just really weird, and I kind of feel like the story of Jesus kind of isn't like like the evidence is different, but like on a grand scale, I feel like I'm not sure, man. It's kind of a lot of the things. I guess the biggest things would be like prophecy stuff and sort of like philosophical arguments that like haven't really, yeah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't
Well,
say I'm agnostic. I kind of just said I was agnostic just because Trent, when I was talking to him, I kind of just played devil's advocate a little bit. I would say I'm still Christian, but like, yeah, I'm
you
still
got
kind of,
questions?
yeah, because I kind of jumped into it, um, like more emotionally rather than like act like I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, that's perfectly fine, bro. So if
yeah,
the thing that's I guess most pressing is going to be prophecies, let's dive into these prophecies then. Um,
yeah, like yeah. So like my biggest contention I think would be, um, God, I gotta think on the top of my head now, but there's certain prophecies, right? I did like with the like perfect example, like the one Ezekiel 37. I think it was like 9 through 15, maybe. Um,
mhm.
I'm paraphrasing here, but pretty much. And there's one in I think Malachi 3 that talks about it as well, where like the Jews of that time, like whoever wrote Ezekiel, obviously assuming it was Ezekiel,
Mhm.
like the Jews of that time, they expected like a way different Messiah than what I think was given, right? And the ones that like um expected the Messiah that we supposedly did get, right? It's just way different, and it has a lot of like theological implications that I feel like weren't, at least not to my knowledge, that are in the Old Testament.
Yeah, so what you can actually see from ancient Jewish literature is that the Messiah was understood in many different ways. So like
Yeah, yeah,
there wasn't just one way, but like what you could see even in Jewish literature today is that they have Messiah ben David or Messiah son of David, and then they have another Messiah, Messiah son of Joseph. And these ideas,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, these ideas both arise from the fact that the scriptures do show that there is this suffering servant Messiah as well as this kingly figure Messiah. Now, the way in which that's going to play out is obviously going to be up for interpretation. Some people are going to value the kingly role. Some people are going to value the servant role. But the way it actually plays out is that the Messiah, Jesus Christ, comes as a servant.
Bro, but,
That's perfectly fine, because I'm more concerned with, like, I want to make sure that you stay Christian, and if you're thinking about leaving Christianity just because of unanswered questions, Christianity has answers. So then let's ask the questions.
I definitely wouldn't say I'm like agnostic. Like I said in like that one live with Leiden. I just said that because I kind of just like acted like it when he asked me. Well, I mean, I said I was lukewarm, but like I can at least probably jot like next time you're live and I got time alone, I'll jot like 3 or 5 big things down. I'll try to do half maybe biblically or 5 keep like 5, not 5. Keep like half of it maybe scripture, half of it like philosophical.
Perfectly fine with me, bro. Whatever.
Yeah. All right, man.
If I'm still alive today, when you write everything down, just come up.
And now you got more reason to be going live.
Yeah, I gotta go live
more often.
I gotta go live more often anyway.
Was it like you were planning on it?
It looked like a goat just entered the 2. Rumi enter and G1 enter.
Wrong G1.
You said you don't mess with G1?
Like,
no, I'm saying wrong G1. Hi.
So he's gonna start having like a set schedule. He hasn't figured out his schedule yet, but he's gonna have a schedule to where he can tell everybody, like, why are you looking at me like that?
I looked at you like you just said.
We can tell everybody like this is when I'm going live, and I have a goal for him. I hope you guys could help with his goal.
Oh, she got a goal for you?
Of getting him to 10K followers. The end of the month is on Friday. That'd be beautiful if he could get there.
The end of the month is absurd.
If he could get there by then. But he needs your guys' help.
Yeah, y'all gotta participate.
I don't do stuff like this.
I know. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's 2 days away.
I know. It's very close.
Now we know who's Elijah's manager. So I turned on text-to-speech for gifts on YouTube, and somebody tried to break my thing.
What do you mean break your thing?
But they sent. I'm gonna show you this message. They sent this, and they read it out. I wish you could go back and hear it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you?
Man, she wants you to buy her Chanel bag.
No, I don't want any designer bags. I just want y'all to like the live, participate in the live, follow him if you don't already follow him, and I think that's it. I think that's all I have for y'all.
Amen. Amen. All right.
See, I like how he's not just thinking 30K. Let's get to 30K likes.
You know, he's a full blown Muslim.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he is.
No, he knows what he is.
Oh, finally he does.
Yeah, he said that he's Muslim.
Well,
now.
he's always in your life.
Yeah,
he's a supporter.
He is.
I don't know. You're still here. Maybe you have time to rethink things. These nuts.
Hey yo.
So did he pray? Pray already? I don't know. He's still here. Maybe he didn't do it.
I think so. But we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be trying to go live more often.
At least like 4 times a week.
What? That's a lot.
Okay, at least 3. No, like Light. He was going live every day, but you got burnt out.
Yeah, and Light don't be reading.
Like I don't want him burnt out. Yeah,
Light
not burnt out.
See,
but listen,
Nate says 7 times a week.
7 times a week sound good. It's crazy.
Make sure you tap in that screen, Nate. I know last time.
What's the deal, Silent Hill?
Who's Dink Pie?
Dink Pie's the GOAT. Like
2 or 3 sound cool.
2 or 3, nigga. That's what Nick is doing.
4 times like. And Nick
they complain about Nick not doing it enough.
Yeah,
and that's what he does.
So we need you to go 3 or 4.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think 4 though. The way
think
your schedule's
6.
set up right now, at least 4.
No,
I was
6
thinking
sounds real nice.
6, 7, something like
Okay,
that.
all right,
Please
I'll do
don't do
that.
that. That
Okay,
was
all right.
cringe.
Genuinely shut the hell up.
All
All
right.
right, you gotta guess. I'm out of here. I'm making food.
Hello. What's
Hi.
up? Hey.
I was just wondering. So, you say there's no reason to be a Muslim. Is there? Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Is there a reason to be a Christian over? Like, if I was like, oh, I'm a Muslim because of my personal experience, which I'm not, but like, is that valid? Would that be a valid reason to be a Muslim?
Mm-mm.
So if it's not valid to be a Christian because of your personal experience, then either, right?
I mean, it wouldn't be like a good reason, no.
So you're more of an evidential guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like if that's the case, right? Like if you're saying that I'm this because of personal experience, like say for instance, if I say that I'm a Christian because of perspective, than just personal experience.
So when you came to Christianity, it was the evidence that brought you, or
It was like the things that brought me to Christianity was my personal experience. The things that keep me in Christianity is the evidence for Christianity.
okay. So would you consider yourself and like do you hold the Bible to be inerrant?
Yeah.
So if there's a contradiction in the Bible, then you have a problem. Like, does that unravel your Christianity?
I mean, you'd have to present the contradiction.
I say that because would you say there's contradictions in the Quran?
Yeah.
And that's a big problem, right?
I mean, that's what they say. They say that the Quran is like the literal word of God. So they say that they believe in it because there is no contradictions. So then if you show that there are contradictions, then that goes against what they believe.
Right. And so you present these contradictions to them, they deny their contradictions, right? They have their reconciliations.
No, not all the time, no.
Not all the time. So like they'll when you present a contradiction, what usually happens?
Some of them say, hey, I need to go look into this. Okay.
Well, that's honest.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get that. I've gotten that answer a couple of times. I need to look into this. Do you have another one? I need to ask my mom about this. Things like that.
And I think that's a very honest answer by them too. But you've also, I'm sure you've encountered some that are like, they have their like they've heard these all before. They have their reconciliations. Like,
No, honestly, like when I bring up the contradictions that I bring up, I don't really run into people who'd be like, I heard this before. They try to come up with an answer on the fly.
and so if when they do reconcile these contradictions, because I'm sure like this is not all new to these scholars of Islam or whatever, like they've got their answers down. If it was truly a contradiction that no one could reconcile at all, then there would be a problem, right? That like it's just like with Christianity, like there are contradictions in the Bible that you guys could reach for a reconciliation with whatever, and you just won't accept that they're a contradiction.
Well, so like for a contradiction to actually hold, like there can't be a reconciliation. Like there can't actually be a reconciliation. If you can provide a sufficient reconciliation, then it's not an actual contradiction. If you just don't like the argument, but it's a sufficient argument, then like that's not a contradiction. So say for instance, if I wanted to bring a contradiction in the Quran, but there's a sufficient explanation to that verse, then I just would no longer use that verse anymore because, hey, at least within their sources and within their framework, that answer does work. Now, like if I'm the contradictions that I would be providing, regardless of their answer, it's not going to work.
Is one you bring up like how the Quran says that you should listen to the people of the book, right? Like
That's not. I wouldn't say that that's a contradiction. That it like maybe it contradicts their worldview, but that's not a contradiction within their verses. No.
Okay, yeah, okay. So okay. You're a bit more honest than most of the ones that I come across, because I just usually when I see these Christian versus Muslim lives, like they're bringing up like the the Quran says the Bible is true, and they have their reconciliation for that, like the Bible's corrupted, right? So you hold that as like a good answer to that.
Well, not for their worldview, because it puts them either way it goes. Like that dilemma is a dilemma for them. So if you say that the scriptures are corrupted, then Allah is telling you to follow corrupted scriptures. If they're not corrupted, then those scriptures are reliable, and Muhammad or the Quran contradicts those previous scriptures. So like either way, whichever road you take, it's a dilemma for them. So even if you say, if I wanted to, the scriptures are corrupted, okay, cool. But now you have Allah confirming and saying that corrupted scriptures are true. So that's the problem there.
Well, yeah, they could be referring to like the original revelation, right?
Yeah. So, and then what the Quran is saying is that what they had in the 7th century, because it literally says in between their hands, what they have there with them. So we could look at the manuscripts that exist in the 7th century and see what they had, as well as you can see the interactions that Muhammad had with Christians and what they believed, which are the same things that Christians believe, as well as people like Ibn Ishaq that literally.
What do you mean by that? Like what's better about Christianity than Islam that makes there be no reason to be a Muslim?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, my OBS, Valencia, I see it. My OBS is tripping. I think I'm gonna exit out of this this link here, and see if that like opens up a little bit more space. But yeah, so the thing that makes Christianity like more reasonable, one, it's based in history. It's a historical claim that's then backed by history. Two, like just philosophically, you can give really good evidence for the God of Christianity over the God of Islam. What's the name? 3, Islam gives like absolutely awful like morals as well, and things to live by and follow. Where if put in practice, it's just not good to be put in practice. So I think that there's a lot of reasons to be a Christian over a Muslim. But if you just look for evidence, I would say history and philosophically are good enough reasons to not be a Muslim and be a Christian instead.
Well, starting with the last point, like you would say that if God commands something, then it's good, right? Would you say that?
No, I would say that like these commands that God like commands, like God only commands good things.
So God commands things because they're good. They're not good because God commands them.
Like everything that God commands is going to be after the will of God. God always wills the good because he is the good. So
Well,
it's not like some
it's not
like some external standard to God that he it's not some external thing like concept to God of goodness that God abides by. It's that God always wills himself and he is goodness itself. So that which he commands, which is that which he's going to will, is going to be the ultimate good.
Okay, so if Islam were to be true, then what Allah is presenting in the Quran would be good because he is God, right?
Yeah, sure.
So it seems that like your point there is like I personally don't agree with what is in the Quran morally, so I don't follow Islam, but if Islam is actually true, then your point is moot, right? Because
No, it's not just I don't agree. There's been tons of debate in regards to the morality of Islam and as to whether or not it's objectively bad or objectively good. I don't really care to have that conversation. There's more pressing matters at hand.
Okay, so the historical claim that you're talking about is the death and resurrection of Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how are we supposed to falsify that? By producing the body?
So, well, there would be plenty of ways, but the topic at hand is that there's no reason to be a Muslim, and you've come up here and you've asked about 70 questions. Like, do you have an actual reason to be a Muslim, or is there just more questions over the horizon?
Well, I'm trying to make a point. Like, if you're saying there's no reason to be a Muslim, like, why is there even a reason to be a Christian then?
I gave reasons to be a Christian,
and that's why I'm asking these questions. Like, you're saying it's a historical claim, okay? Like, can we falsify this historical claim?
If it was false, yeah, you would be able to falsify it.
And exactly how? That's what I was asking. That's why the question was there.
One of the ways would be to produce a body.
And you agree we can't do that anymore, right? That's not going to happen anymore.
Why not?
Right? Well, obviously the body would be decomposed and gone by now.
I mean, they find human fossils all the time from thousands of years ago.
Well, but if we got a random pile of bones, how are we going to confirm that's Jesus or not?
It could be in a specific location. They could have specific markers that point to certain things, like when they found the bone of a crucified victim that went on to live after his crucifixion, they were able to tell that. So like,
well, but they don't know exactly who that was unless there's like a marker, like a headstone, right?
Yeah, and then we could also just look in history as well, like the testimony.
So you think that at this point there would be a possibility that someone could go and produce Jesus's body 100%? We could prove that it was Jesus's body.
Let's say, for instance, if there was a burial with a body that had, broken bones or whatever, and they said on the tombstone that this is Jesus of Nazareth or something like that. Why is that impossible?
Well, we know that that's not. I mean, the Bible story doesn't say that's what happened, right? They don't say that. They don't say that it was. They say he was buried in Joseph Arimathea's tomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we know that that's not normally what happened to crucifixion victims back in the day, right?
They
weren't buried in tombs.
No, so what you actually see is that in Jewish tradition, it was likely for the crucified victims to get taken down, especially around like feast days, because it would make the land unclean if you kept the body up. So it was actually it wasn't like wildly extraordinary for them to take a body down after it was unalive during feast days.
If the Romans agreed to it.
Which they did.
Even with treason victims? Or sorry, treason, what's the word? People accused of treason? Because that you would say that's one of the highest crimes, right?
Where did you get treason?
Well, like from the Bible story, right? King of the Jews. That's what they said was put on his grave,
he literally
right?
said I find no fault with him.
Okay, so why was he? If they found no fault with him, well, why was he?
Have you not read the testimony of the eyewitnesses?
Well, which gospel are you referring to?
Matthew and John.
What about Mark?
Mark isn't an eyewitness.
So you disregard Mark's gospel?
No, I highly regard Mark's gospel.
Okay, so in Mark's gospel, what happens?
Jesus is crucified. Yeah, I do know.
And he's crucified for being king of the Jews by the Romans, for claiming to be the king of the Jews.
No, so what they put king of the Jews there, right? Because that's what the Jews are saying. They're trying to put that forth in order to get him crucified. The Romans don't want to crucify Christ, but they do to appease the crowd and to appease the Jews.
According to John's gospel.
I mean, according to
there's different stories. There's development throughout the gospels. You agree with that, right?
No.
No? So you think that Mark leaves the exact same impression as John when you're telling that?
Yes.
In John's gospel, Pontius Pilate says, I want my hands washed clean of this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say that in Mark's gospel.
So what?
Agreed? Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
And you agree John's gospel is the latest gospel written, right?
Yeah, it's the latest gospel written, but just because they're giving a different account of the same thing doesn't mean that they don't agree. Like, my friend Cam could say, oh, Elijah spoke to a dude that asked 150 questions. And then my friend Light could say, oh, Elijah spoke to a dude that insinuated that there's no reason to be a Christian. That doesn't mean that they're going against one another. They're just giving two different accounts of the same thing. They're talking about the same person, the same event, but they're highlighting the thing that's important to them.
Well, you would agree as you go through the years of the Gospels, it seems that Pontius Pilate gets more innocent as we move through the Gospels.
No, bro.
You would not agree with that at all.
No, what does that have to do with the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ?
I mean, it shows that legendary development through these Gospels. It's not the
Have
only
you looked
thing.
into how long it takes for a legend to develop?
Do you think that legends take years and years and years?
That's literally, like, sociologically true. A legend takes about 200 to 300 years after the event to actually develop. They don't happen within the same century.
So you think that rumors don't get spread very easily?
We're not talking about rumors. You're talking about the legend of somebody dying and rising from the dead during the time in which people are actually alive. For that legend to actually spread and take hold, it takes about 200 to 300 years after the time of the event.
Okay, so
are you gonna give an actual defeater to?
I don't see how you can claim that it takes 200, 300 years for a legend to develop when we can see in our own time period that rumors get spread in very quick time. I don't see how you can.
No one's just talking about a rumor. When you're talking about a legend, you're like ascribing something supernatural than to an event or something like that. So if you're talking about the resurrection of Christ, or you're talking about the deity of Christ, then for these legends to actually come about, it actually takes time, which goes against the evidence that we have for Christianity, that the idea of Christ rising from the dead, or the idea of Christ being God in the flesh, actually starts, some would say, within months of Christianity or the resurrection.
So you think that there's no legendary development in the Gospels, is what you're saying?
Bro, no. So do you have an actual argument?
Wait, you said...
I don't think that there's legendary development. I don't think that the Bible is presenting legends, as in like myths.
So how do you explain that?
Bro, that's another question. Like, you need to provide an argument. I want you to provide an argument. If you're going to provide an argument for why there's a good reason to be a Muslim, or you're going to give an argument as to why Christianity cannot be true. You're not going to ask me 80 more questions.
Well, to say that Christianity cannot be true is... I can't do that because it's an unfalsifiable claim.
you can't prove Christianity false.
Just like I can't prove Islam false. No, you can't prove something false when the claim is unfalsifiable.
Can you prove that you're not an idiot?
Say again?
Can you prove that you're not an idiot?
You're gonna have to give me a rubric. I mean, like, what do you want to say?
Bruh. Was he a real person in our society? I don't know.
You can prove it.
I don't know. I gave him multiple different ways in which you can prove and disprove Christianity, ways in which you can prove and disprove Islam, and he still concludes that you can't prove or disprove it. Like, bruh. Doesn't even make any sense. And then people like that, they just go around and they just like, oh, there's no reason to believe in this stuff. You could literally give reasons to believe in this stuff. Fence sitter, bruh, have you heard that story or parable or wherever it is, where there's a guy that's sitting on the fence, and his whole life he's trying to choose between two sides. On one side there's God, and on the other side there's the devil. And this man, he just sits on the fence, and he's hearing the arguments from both sides, but he never really makes a decision. And then he dies on the fence, and then the devil takes him, and he says, "Wait, I never chose you." And he says, "The fence is my property as well." I was like, dang, that's tough.
That's actually kind of wait. That's actually, wait. I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
Wait, what's it called?
Look at the
This nigga. Oh my gosh.
this
You just
is,
reading stuff and just hearing stuff that you don't know
bro.
about.
Sometimes you can't remember everything where you rereading it.
I expect you to remember everything.
Impossible, bro. I've been reading so many
What's the last
sources
book you
at
read?
one time. The last book that I read was the Thomas Crean Vindicating the Filioque.
Oh, you're a filioquist?
No, I'm just looking into they stuff, like the quotes, their arguments, and then like go and read the actual sources and see. But when I was in Hawaii, I wasn't reading. Yeah, exactly. That's the absolute worst part. And then you go and you're like, "Hey, where is this from?" And they're like, "Oh, this is from Tertullian." And you're like, "Ain't no way this is from Tertullian." I know it wasn't from Tertullian. This is from the work of Origen. If you want to be a follower of me, read this. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
Not much. What's happening?
I got a quick question. Are you a Protestant?
Right now, yeah.
Okay, so are you inquiring, or like would you say that you just have a strong case for Protestantism?
No, I'm inquiring. I wouldn't say that I have a strong case for Protestantism. I'm not like a Protestant apologetic in the sense that I've read the sources and arguments for Protestantism and I'm ready to defend them. not I'm not that. I'm looking in. I read the church fathers. I hold them highly authoritative. I want to believe what the earliest church believed. I'm just not convinced of either of the big churches, namely Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy yet.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so would you say like Presbyterian churches, or like for example, like Calvinist or Lutheran churches? Would you say that they have a uh, a clear cut doctrine that can result in having salvation in said church, would you just say that like the Catholic or Eastern Orthodox Church have the salvation?
I don't I don't know. Are you asking, do I think that Presbyterians and Lutherans can be saved?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I do.
Got you, brother. I was just asking because I know like there's different views on that, but um I overheard that like you were a Protestant, so didn't know exactly where you stood like when it came to that. So I just wanted to just curious, brother.
Also all good, man. Is that it?
Yeah, that's about it, brother. That's about it, bro.
All right, for sure. God bless, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
Hey, man. Ugh. Like, what you is?
Last night, that's about it.
You didn't say nothing, man.
Are you hear me?
Nah, you just said last night, and then you said that's about it.
I don't have my mic cut up.
I guess so.
I mean, I kind of said it, so.
You didn't say that.
I did.
What'd you
Said
say?
everything I did. You said what?
What denomination you is? Oh, okay. I didn't know. So how did you get into African spirituality? That's crazy. I ain't know what drew you. Was it just a call into your root? You went to sleep? Is that what you were saying? Last night your ancestors spoke to you and called you back home?
God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. But no, well, obviously, I'm not confirmed in any church. Everybody knows that so much so far. But me, low key, reading on Meophysitism,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like my roots are actually calling me back. The OO Church.
The OO?
Yeah. But obviously, I'm not saying I am OO, right? But very leaning towards their theology.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. What's the name? So I'll be setting up a debate between you and Sig next week.
Watch out.
Next
he went
week.
off the app for a reason. Go away. Don't bring him back for that. Hell no.
What's up, man?
What up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good. Are you Muslim?
Yeah, my fro. I think I might be losing service. I think I'm kind of. I see you now. Yeah. No. I'm a Christian, but I'm not a Trinitarian though.
Why
I
not?
got to be a Trinitarian in order to be a Christian.
Yeah. In the Shire?
Said
That's
in order to
insane.
be a.
In order to be a Christian, you
Say
have
that
to
again.
be
I'm
a
sorry. That's
Trinitarian,
essential.
yes.
Yeah, so one of the things that what makes me not that is because when I read the Bible, I don't see that in the text. I used to be a Trinitarian, and I would teach people that that was something that was essential to the faith. I mean, I'm sorry, I never taught that though, that it was something that was essential to the faith because most evangelical Christians can't even understand the doctrine of the Trinity, and when you talk to them, they collapse into modalism.
Yeah, I don't
And
care
so I
nothing
realized
about
that would,
I don't care nothing about them for real. You talking to me right now, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like, can you, when Jesus says in Mark chapter 16,
Yeah.
he says, "Who do men say that I am?" And Peter says, "Some this, some that." He says, "Who do you say that I am?" It says, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." So upon that revelation is how God will build his church, correct?
Okay.
So can you show me in the text where it says that I must believe in the doctrine of the Trinity in order for me to be saved?
Yeah. So there's a couple of places, right? So do you know what the doctrine of the Trinity is?
Yep.
What's the doctrine of the Trinity?
Is that there's one God, three distinct persons within the Godhead,
Mm-hmm.
and then also they all share the same usia,
Mm-hmm.
and also the hypostasis, the persons, or some Eastern Oriental Orthodox whole reality or something like something like that in that sense.
Okay. So you have one God, three distinct persons, Father, Son, and Spirit, right? Now, and so I'll show you the first. You have to believe in the distinction of the persons. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I hear you.
So it says, this is one of the most famous verses. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, or only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. So how many persons do you see here?
There's two persons there.
Okay. How many gods are there?
There's one God right there.
Okay. So do you need to believe in the God who gave his son, and do you need to believe in his only son?
It says you need to believe in the God who sent and gave his son. Yep.
Okay. So right now you have two persons, one God, and you have to believe in this distinction in persons in order to have eternal life, right?
What? I don't know what you mean by distinction
That's
of
what it.
persons.
Well, you have the God so loved the world that he gave his only son. That's one person. That's the Father. His only son is the second person, and whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life.
Yeah, because he has the message of the Father, basically.
Yeah. Do you need to believe in John 3:16 to be saved?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So you
God
have.
sent the Son, basically.
Okay. So you have a distinction of persons. Oh, is the Son God?
You said, no, I don't believe the Son is God.
Okay. So let's go to John chapter 1. Does John chapter 1 say that the Son is God?
It depends on which manuscript. It says he's, and the manuscript that we see, I think, is it Byzantine? One of them says the only begotten Son, the only begotten God, in that text. And then the other say the only begotten Son. So that's that's error right there.
Is the Son the Word?
I don't. The Son in John 1:1, the Son doesn't become the Word until John 1:18, I believe.
The Son never becomes the Word. The Son is the Word.
It says the Son was made flesh, and when you read John 14 and 28, 24 actually, it says that Jesus logos. He said, "My logos is not my own, but it came from the Father." So that logos right there that came from the Father is not his.
You said John 14:24?
Yeah, 14:24. Yeah.
That he does not keep my words. The words that you hear are not mine, but the Father who sent me.
Yes, that right.
What does
right
that have to do with the? What does that have to do with in John chapter 1 where it says the Word is God?
Right, because the logos that he has right there, when it says in the beginning was the Word and the Word was with God, that second God right there is qualitative, and that means in the beginning was the Word and the Word was with God and the Word was divine. So it wasn't a regular word like man you speaking. It was an inspired divine word. It was wisdom, and Jesus says that he's the children. He's a child of wisdom.
Oh, so you believe? So you believe that Jesus was created?
Yeah, I believe Jesus was created. Yep.
Okay. Is God's power created?
No, God's power is not created.
Okay, so when the scriptures call Jesus the power of God, are you saying that God's power is created?
Jesus said he cast out.
I didn't ask that. I didn't ask that. I asked when the scriptures call Jesus the power of God. Are you saying now that God's power is created?
No, it only says that he's the power of God because he cast out devils by the power of
That's
God.
not what it says. That's not what it says.
It says he cast out devils by the finger of God. That's what it says.
No, I'm talking about First Corinthians.
Jesus was anointed actually. What he was doing.
So, but those who are here, I'll help you. But those who are called both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. You said the power of God is not created.
Right.
It calls Christ the power of God.
Right. And so that's when the reason why it's called him the power of God is because God anointed Jesus, as in that Matthew 16 says. It says he's the Moshiach. And then it says also in Acts chapter 2, it says God anointed him, how he went about doing miracles and healing and raising the dead. Then it also says, Jesus says, I do nothing of my own, but he that is in me, he doeth the work. And how he's in the Father, how the Father's in him is by his Spirit. And the Spirit is what's working the power of God.
Okay, all right. No, that makes sense. So you're saying that if I just take a verse and then just run off and do whatever I want, I can make it say whatever I want it to say. But I don't want to stick with the verse that's at hand because it demolishes my belief. So instead of actually dealing with the verse, let's run off to other places. Is that what am I getting that right?
Yeah. I think you should look at what the narrative of the text is saying.
Okay.
There's no running off. because if you look, Jesus says that he grew in wisdom. If Jesus grew in wisdom, how is you calling Jesus wisdom, which is something that's abstract? How are you doing that? How can a
So,
person grow in
so are you
wisdom if
saying? Do
they
you know
are
what it
wisdom?
mean? Do you know what it means for a thing to be abstract?
Yeah, you tell explain it. What does that mean?
You just use the word. I'm assuming you understand the things that you're saying.
That's
Do
what
you not?
that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking you. If Jesus grows in wisdom,
No,
how is
that's a whole nother
Jesus?
question. You're saying that if they're calling Jesus the wisdom of God, a thing that is abstract, do you know what it means for a thing to be abstract?
Explain to us what is it then?
So don't use words that you don't know what it means.
Okay, well, what is it? I know what it is,
Okay,
but what
so
you
when you're
you
saying that a thing, when you're saying that a thing is abstract, you're saying that it doesn't have any causal power. The wisdom of God will not be an abstract thing because the wisdom of God actually does have causal power. The wisdom of God, however, is not created, neither is the power of God. So when 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 24 is calling Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God, he is saying very well that Christ is not created.
right. That so hold on. When it says when it calls Jesus and when Jesus says that he grew in wisdom, what does that mean right there?
That means that he actually had a human nature. All it's saying is that he grew up. That's it. That's
So when
all
it
that's
says
being
what about when
said.
so when it says that he's so you said a human nature. Do you
So
believe
hold
Jesus
on.
was?
Before we move on, do you see very clearly that Christ is something that is uncreated,
No,
namely the power of God and the wisdom
I
of
don't
God?
know that. No, I don't think that's talking about what you're talking about
What is it
because
when it
because if
calls
Jesus,
Christ? All right, very clearly, is the power of God created?
no, the power of God is not created.
Okay. Now, in the statement, Christ, the power of God, or Christ is the power of God, it is identifying Christ with this thing, namely this uncreated aspect, right? Namely the power of God, the wisdom of God. So Christ is being identified with the uncreated.
What about when it says you are the light of the world?
Yeah, man, that's fantastic. How we could just
I'm
what
asking, what
about
does
when it
that
says
mean?
trust in the Lord with all your heart? What
Right.
about
So that so
what about everything? What about when it
right.
says in the beginning he was there?
No,
What
no,
about that?
right. So the
Or
reason why,
what
no, you
about
got it, bro. You
yeah,
go.
what
Finish your
about the fact that it is calling Christ uncreated right here? What about
no.
that?
So no, when it says the power of God, just like when Jesus says, "I'm the light of the world," do you actually think he's a light, or he reflecting basically, or he's guiding people, and that light is guiding? So when Jesus says the wisdom of God or the power of God, it's because he's gotten this wisdom and this power from God. Just like if it says you the light of the world,
That's
the text ain't
fantastic,
saying
bro.
that you the next.
I'm not asking you where he got it from. I'm saying that it's calling him uncreated.
That's what I'm asking you. Who did Jesus say he got his power from?
Everything comes from the Father.
Right. So if Jesus got his power from God, and he says he could do nothing of himself, when it says that Jesus has become wisdom unto
Do you
us,
know why he says that?
well, why did he say it? Because
Because
he got it from God.
and also he wants to soothe the minds of the Jews who thinks that he's doing things on his own, but he does nothing apart from the Father. Everything that he does is in line and in the same will of the Father. He's assuring them that he's not doing anything just because he wants to do it, but he does because he does not operate apart from the Father. That's why he says those statements. Now, the reason as to why Paul says the statement like Christ is the power of God and the wisdom of God is because there are people like you who believe that Christ is not God. And he starts off his letter to the Corinthians showing very clearly that Christ is God.
All right. So look, I got one more question because I think we gonna disagree with that. We got our disagreements. So in John Mark 13:32, it says that Jesus says no one knows the hour except the Father.
Hmm.
Right there in that text, um, you would hold the position that Jesus would, if he's fully God in a sense. Would you hold that position?
Yeah.
So if he's fully God, right, in that position, you hold the position he's also fully man too, correct?
I don't like to use fully. I like to say truly, but I understand what
Truly,
you're
I'm sorry,
trying
right
to
there. Yeah,
say.
true, true. Yeah, it depends on. So if you hold that position that he's truly God and that he's also truly man,
Hmm.
so in context, when he was asked pertaining to the hour, he says only the Father knew that hour. Um, what is it, what was going on with that situation right there?
Yeah. So the word in the Greek, oide, also means to make known or to declare. So Jesus
Hmm.
is saying that the only one who makes known the hour is the Father. But the way in which the Father makes known the hour is through the Son. Jesus obviously has knowledge of the hour because in everything in Mark 13 as well as Matthew 24, he is detailing the hour. He is telling you, hey, this is going to happen, but the hour is not yet to come. Then this is going to happen, but the hour is not yet. It's just the birth pains. And then he tells you what happens when the hour comes. But he says that, and they ask him, hey, well, when is this going to happen? And he's saying that, hey, he's not going to declare the hour. Only the Father declares the hour, which is also a verse that shows that Jesus is not the Father.
Right, and so if you there's a little bit more to that verse right there. It says neither the Son nor the angels nor anyone. So are you saying that that text is saying that they also are not going to make known the hour? That only the Father is going to make known the hour
Yeah,
because Jesus
because,
includes himself with the other people in that context.
yeah, so, and if you see the hour of the end of Jesus returning, right? That's marking the end, is it's linked together with a Jewish wedding, right? Of a groom coming to get his bride. Now, in Jewish tradition, it is the father who declares the hour of when the wedding happens. And Jesus connects his return with a Jewish wedding. It's not that the son doesn't know when he's going to get married, but it is the father that declares the announcement to everybody that his son is getting married. So that's what Jesus is linking it to. And I can't remember the word that I'm looking for.
Right. So the Jewish wedding that you talking about, I actually have the book. It's called Jewish Customs by Jews. Where I have someone actually a Trinitarian sent me the literature on it. Correct. Right. And so in the actual custom, do you know it says that the son actually doesn't know the hour? Like I can actually pull it up and read it to you. It says the son does not know the hour. So is it a true or false statement when the son said that he did not know the hour nor the angels, but only the father knew knew the hour? Because
When
that
you
shouldn't have been.
say when you say no in the Greek, it also means to declare or to make known. Like when the apostle Paul says, I decided to know nothing among you except Christ and him crucified.
Those are
That's
actually two different words,
It's
though.
not two different words there.
Yes, they're used differently. Actually, one of them is used. One of them is indicative, and one of them is used as an infinitive in the mood. So that's one of them is a statement of fact, and the other one is not. So it's like if somebody decide
And
not to do something. That's just like
so
in the Hebrew we
decide not
use
to
the
what?
ethos.
Decide not to what though?
If they decide not to make something known, so if you notice, yeah,
But
no,
no, hold on.
no, no.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
so no, not exactly. So look, one is in the Paul in Corinthians is used in the as in the mech. I think it's used in a indicative or the infinitive stem, whereas the other one is used in the indicative, which is in Mark, I believe, and one of them means to they decided not to make something known, whereas the other one is used differently, which means it's a statement of fact, meaning that he truly did not know. Basically, they're used
That
differently. If you go and you look in the
that's
Greek right
not
there, you can
that
let's
one.
pull up the Greek right. Put the Greek on the screen right now. It's going to tell you the same thing. What I'm saying. Like I don't know why you keep like if you why you running it, and then you use a Jewish wedding. You was wrong with the Jewish wedding because if you look at the Jewish wedding and put it on your screen, it even tells you that the son did not know. He was not given that information in that Jewish wedding.
You're just saying stuff, right? You do recognize that, right?
No, okay, look, I bet you want to look it up. I bet you want to look it up right now. As the Lord liveth, if you look that up, it's going to say exactly. But they're used differently. Don't try to use First Corinthians. It's used differently in the stem. This is like do you know what the difference in the Hebrew between the Hippoel stem and also a qual stem? The qual stem is not it's not declarative. The Hippoel stem is God
Bro,
declaring something.
bro,
Or
no one is asking you all of that, bro. We're just going to show that the word oide also means to make known. We brung up
all right, pull
another
it up in
case
the.
in which the word oide, which Paul uses, also means to make known, and you're talking about the tenses in which the word oide means to make known.
Hey, pull it up right now, then. And when somebody yeah, you all you gotta do is pull it up. I guarantee you, it ain't gonna be saying nothing you saying. That stem is very important right there because he decided not to make something known unto them, whereas that text
So is he
is talking
using the
about.
word oide?
Nah, that he ain't using that word there like what
Oh,
you saying.
he's not using oide.
It's not he's not using the word of what you saying that like you saying that he's using it. It's
He
used differently there.
so he's not.
It's used differently there in that text.
So
Yes.
are you saying that in Mark 13:32, it's not in the indicative?
N- n- No, it's in the indicative. The other one is in the infinitive in that text. They're used differently. Let's look it up right now. You see
If
it there.
if
Don't
the
act like you don't
word,
see it.
no, I don't see anything that you're talking
Oh, you
about.
didn't look at you. Okay, go look at First Corinthians. Look at that Corinthians, and then look at they're both used differently. What I mean is to decide, whereas the other one is not that. It's used differently. Go look at it.
So the word oide, does it mean to make known or not?
All right, so can you they use differently? So I don't know why you won't pull that up. You
If
looking
if
right
the
at it,
word, hold
and I
on,
know
hold on.
you see it.
If the word, I no, I'm not. I'm actually not
Look at
looking
it.
at
I
it.
bet you won't go look it up.
I'm literally not
You
looking at
just
it
looked up the Mark 13 and 32. Why you can't grab the Corinthians? You know
because
it's in
my
the indicative right there, and it's used differently.
it, the tense of
Your
the
face is
word.
telling us that you
No,
see it, bro.
I swear to bro, I can show you my screen. I'm literally on
Right,
Isaiah
you
7.
just looked at the one. Hold on, you looked at the one in the indicative. Is am I? You seen it there in the one in Mark 13 and 32, correct?
No, I haven't been doing anything.
Okay, then how do you know it was in the indicative then?
I asked you. I said, "Are you saying that it's not in the indicative?"
Bro, what was you just typing, just looking up all that time? Your face
Literally,
is telling that
literally
that you're not
trying
telling
to
the truth.
literally trying to get my mouse to work. Literally trying to get my
Oh,
mouse to work.
really?
Yes.
For 5-10 minutes, you've been trying to get the mouse to work.
Did you not just see it continue to load?
Hey, bro, if you don't get to typing, bro, stop playing with
That's
me, man. Pull that
what do
up.
you want me to type? What do you want me to type? I don't know what you want
Hey,
me to type.
bro, this is crazy, yo.
What do you
You
want
know
me to
that.
type?
Hey, so look, let me pull it up for you, bro, because you playing
Okay,
games,
go
and
ahead.
I know you see it, bro. And it's all
I just
respect,
showed
it's
my
all love,
screen.
bro. I just wanted,
Please,
it's all love.
please, go
So
ahead.
look,
Pull it up, bro.
this is Mark 13 and 32.
Okay.
Look at it says. Okay. So I'm gonna read it. It says, "But of that day and that hour knoweth no man,
Okay.
no, not the angels, which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father."
Okay. And
So look,
what does
I'm
the
gonna
word
click
no
on it.
mean?
We're finna click on it right now. Word no right there. Okay. Uh,
Does that word mean to declare?
okay. So the word right there is I'm finna click on it right now. It's no man knoweth. It's oiden. That's what it is. Right?
Yes.
Now watch what now look how it's used. It's used in it's a verb, perfect active, indicative third person singular. Now see how that's used?
Cool.
Now what now watch this. Let me click on the mood indicative. It is a simple statement of fact.
Okay.
If an action really occurs or has or will occur, it will be rendered in the indicative mood. So watch this. Let's go to your text.
So
This is
it's a statement. So you're just saying that it's a statement of fact that the
yeah.
Father
It's
declares.
no. I mean, we know he declares. However, it's a statement of fact that the Son does not know. That
So
only the
you
Father
understand that the
knows.
thing in contention is the word know also means to declare. You're saying that it refers to head knowledge. I'm saying that it means to declare.
No, that ain't what it's talking about. And so I'm going to show you for the proof. Let's go to your Corinthians text. What's the Corinthians text again? And pull it up. And I'm going to show you it's used totally different.
Go ahead, pull it up.
What's the text? You called it out earlier. You said Paul said what again? What text is it?
Let me pull up.
It said like them fingers just got like super amnesia just that fast.
No, I didn't. I never pulled First Corinthians chapter
You
2,
went
verse
from
2.
using the mouse
First
to typing.
Corinthians chapter 2, verse 2.
All right, so let me pull it up. Because you was definitely typing at first. Now your mouse don't work, but you've been typing this whole time. This is
Okay, bro.
First Corinthians chapter 2,
Mm-hmm.
verse 2. All right, so right here, it says, I determined not to know. So let's click on that. And you know what's so crazy? Because it's even used
Oh
differently.
my
It's not,
God, bro.
I mean, it's not
Please
even the
go.
same oiden right there.
Bro,
It's
it's
not
the
even the same.
same root word.
Wait, hold on real quick. It ain't about the root word. It's not
It's
the same
literally
word, bro.
the same Strong's number is being used.
Hey, it's the same strong number. But if you look at it right there,
Why are
what
you
word you got right
panicking?
there?
Go. Is it the same word that's being
Hold on,
used?
I'm not panicking at all. Now
Is
watch
it the
this.
same word that's being used?
No, it's not the same word. It's a different
Oh,
word
okay. So it's a
actually.
different Strong. What's the Strong's number for this one?
Hold on, no, it's the same Strong's number, but it's a
Oh,
different word.
is the Strong's number indicating the Greek
Hold on,
word that's being used?
I
Hold
got
on,
you, but
wait. Is the Strong's number indicating the Greek word that's being used?
yeah. But
Okay, so
it's
you said that it's the same Strong's
hold
number
on,
but a different word?
well, hold on. Well, I'm sorry. It's the same word, but it's used differently. I'm sorry about that.
Okay,
And
but
so look,
this word
and so
also means to declare?
oh, hold on. No, watch what it means. I'm going to show you. Now watch
So
this.
it doesn't mean
Watch
to
this.
declare.
Hold on. It's used as it's in the infinitive. Look what it is. It's used in the infinitive. It's a verb, perfect active infinitive. That's what it is. Now look, it says in most cases corresponds to the English infinitive, which is basically the verb with to prefix to believe, or can be used like a noun. It's better to live than to die, as well as reflected purpose of result. This was done to fulfill what the prophet stated. So if you look at this context, if you look at it grammatically speaking, it says he decided or he determined not to know something among them in a sense, and it's used in the infinitive. It's not used in the indicative, which is a statement of fact. He's just saying, like, look, I decided not to know something among you in the sense or tell you
What is
something.
when you say no, what does that mean?
In other words, he decided. I mean, well, let me read it. It says, "For I determined not to know anything among you," or he decided not to tell them or reveal to you.
Okay. Okay. So he
I
decided not to
no,
declare something.
no. I know that. I know that in this
Okay.
context.
All
What
right.
you're doing is, hold on. You notice you don't have that in the same context of the other text. Jesus ain't saying that. In the other context, he's saying that he does not know. It's in the indicative. So when y'all come off a mic, I'm giving you that on this text. This is declarative in this sense. Yes, it's an indicative. In the other ones, it's a statement of fact saying that Jesus actually does not know. He didn't decide not to tell them anything because only the Father, he didn't do none of that. He does not actually know, bro.
You understand that
So,
you're literally just putting that into the text, but you haven't substantiated. You have to
hey, so
prove that in Mark 13:32 that the word oide only means to have head knowledge of, not to declare. That's what you would
let's
have
look
to
how
prove.
well, look how it's used other places. When you look at how it's used other places, all you got to do is click on it, and it's going to be used exactly what I'm saying.
Oh my God. Bro, we just clicked on another place in which this word is used and it means to declare.
No. But you see, you keep saying how the word is used but it's in the mood that you need to look at. Because when you look at the mood, that's how you can determine what's being stated.
Bro, I don't
And
care what.
you're not doing that. You don't care about the Greek there? That's what you don't care about?
No, you're trying to make an argument for the mood, right? But the thing that's in contention is the meaning of the word. So you just proved my point that the word does also mean to declare. And I also have early church father support of this interpretation.
Yeah, you would have that, but other people have they have given examples of how that word says that Jesus would be limited and he would be ignorant of some things in his human nature, like when it says that he grew in knowledge, that there would be some certain things that he would know. So you would have some. This is what they disagreeing about is was Jesus two persons in the sense. So you might have some early church fathers that might state with your agreement that doesn't make it authoritative because they still arguing about this situation and they saying that he limited himself, that he was limited to where he was ignorant of some things in his human nature. So
And
they are saying that.
even like say for instance, let's use that interpretation, right? They're also showing those people who put that forth that claim believe that Jesus is God. So they're saying that this limit of knowledge of the Son not knowing is not supposed to be predicated to the person himself, but predicated to the human nature, because the person who has the divine nature does know all things. So they're saying that, a way in which this can be understood is that, this limitation is only in virtue of the human nature, not in virtue of the entire person being limited in knowledge, because Jesus is obviously God. So even if I wanted to take forth your interpretation, they're qualifying the way in which Jesus does not have head knowledge because he obviously has knowledge pertaining to the divine nature. And he's gone. And he's gone. Okay.
That was genuinely so funny. Like, he was he was struggling not to say tell, bro.
Yeah, I know. Right. I'm putting new batteries in my mouse and it doesn't work. Bro, I don't understand what's happening. This math, bro, I might fail this class. What math you doing? Let me know what math you doing.
Are you gonna help him out?
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm real good at.
It was like AP2, like AP1. It's not like that. You help him out?
Ain't nothing I could do.
Okay.
I lost service. I'm sorry about that. My Wi-Fi went out. Can you hear me though?
Yeah.
So the last thing you said is you talked about the some of what they say about the human nature in a sense. That was the last thing I heard you say, as far as like what they would say, as far as like
Yeah,
he was limited in.
They're qualifying the way in which Jesus, the divine person, does not know because they believe that the scriptures are saying that he's God. So even if I wanted to like take their interpretation, they're not saying that the divine person does not know. They're saying that the only way that this statement could be true is by virtue of the human nature, because by virtue of the divine nature, he knows all things.
Right, and so when you but you don't hold that position, correct?
I don't
You
have
just
to
hold the
hold that
position.
position.
Right. So even with that, that poses as a problem because when you go back to you believe that Jesus is in the Old Testament, correct?
Yes.
You believe he's the angel of the Lord?
As the scriptures say.
You believe he's the angel of the Lord?
Sure.
So in Genesis 22, Jesus ain't got no human nature right there. And it says, now I know that you fear God, seeing that you have not withheld thine only son from me. That's in Genesis 22 and 10 verses 10 through 11, I believe.
And the Hebrew word
So
that's
can you
used there
explain
is
that?
yes, and the Hebrew word that's
It's
used
in the
there
qual
is
stem.
the Hebrew word that's used is yada, which means
Yeah, and it's in the qual stem.
that okay. It means to
So
declare or to show, to
no,
reveal.
it doesn't mean that. I'm gonna prove it to
It
you.
means
And
to
see,
show
this,
or to reveal.
yeah. So if so something has been revealed or showed to him. So then when you go to that qual stem right there, that's what you keep. Like I don't know why you just like the grammar is just like you just don't want to deal with. You just like saying that I'm just gonna dismiss that basically. That's what you're doing. So
No,
in
you
Genesis 22, now watch this what it says, and I want to ask you this honestly speaking. That I want you to answer this honestly. So it says right there with that angel. I'm gonna click on verse
what verse?
11. Verse 11.
Well,
I mean
the
verse 12. I'm sorry. Verse 12. Hebrews 2. I mean Genesis 22 and 12. I'm sorry. This is 22 and 12. Hold on real quick. So Genesis 22 and 12. Hold on. So it says right here. You see the Hebrew word right there?
I
It's
already know what
Yadah,
the
right?
Hebrew word is. Yes.
Now click on that Hebrew word right there. And what stem does it say that it's in?
Mine just says it just says that it's a verb for me.
It don't tell you what stem it's in.
It says perfect.
What are you right? What are you looking at? Like, are you looking at it? Like, what app do you got that
I
you look
use
at the
logos.
how is so the logos don't tell you what stem is used in that logos, but it
It
should
just
tell you
says
if you click on it.
perfect.
It should tell you it's used as a verb in the qual stem, a
Okay.
perfect quata. You see it
Yes, yes.
now right there. You see when did you see what the qual stem means? It says it's a did you check out that?
No, bro.
Okay, so right there when you click on that, I want to show you something because I don't know if you probably knew this. You probably did know it. I'm not sure though, but hopefully you'll see it this time. So when you you all right, bro?
Bro, like you're just put forth your argument
All
because
right, so
it's
look,
not
so
defeating
so
anything.
okay, so look right there when you go to the outline of biblical usage, it says to know, and under there it's an A, and you can look at the qual stem. It says to know, to learn to know, to perceive and to see, find out and discern and discriminate. Now, if it was under the B and used as a nifal stem, it would be to be made known. That's what you talk about the declared right there. It's not in the nifal, it's in the qual stem. So look at it. It says to be known or became or become or be revealed, like you said in the fall stem. So my question is why did they put this in the qual stem if it's saying declared or to be made known like what you saying? Why did they do that?
The word in all the different ways is going to be talking about like the revealing. Like so what you're trying you're not what you're trying to do is trying to figure out what the word means in its proper context. That's what you're trying to figure out, not like the grammatical usage of a word, because a grammatical usage of a word does not always entail the exact meaning of a word.
All right, so this word yada right here, is it used in other contexts, like far as like well, people who don't possess a type of knowledge of something? Is it used the word yada,
Like in
like when they
regards,
don't know something?
does God use the word yada?
No, I'm asking like this word, this yada, is it used of other people who don't? It says they did not know something, or now they know something. Is that word used of other people besides God in that text?
Of other people besides God?
Yeah, that word yada, is it used in the
Yeah,
text?
it's used a lot.
Right. So if when it is used or whatever, hold on real quick. Let's do this. Hold on real quick. So when it is used, like in that sense or whatever, is it used the same way? Did it? How will we know? how it should be used
Bro,
from
by
this
the
text and other
surrounding
texts.
context, the angel of the Lord is said to be God before Genesis chapter 22. So when the angel of the Lord is saying, now I know that you fear God, it's talking about the revealing of Abraham's faith.
When did he know though? When did he find that out?
It's not an actual finding out. It's through the action of Abraham, that action that takes place, that now Abraham's faith is shown externally. Obviously, God knows all matters of the heart.
Well, the Bible says God searches the heart.
Yes, he knows the heart of everyone.
So if he searches the heart, what is he searching if he already knew it?
Do you think that God doesn't know everything or something?
I'm just asking. Like, I'm just telling you what the text says.
Yeah, so when it says that God searches the heart, it's not saying that like, oh my God, it's not saying that like God experiences things in time to where he's finding things out, but it's going to show the reader that God is not concerned with the outward appearance of things, but rather he looks at what's within.
Why is he looking if he already know though?
Oh my God. It's a idiom. It's like it's a figure of speech. It's something to help you understand the character of God. It's like I feel like I'm talking to Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy that just doesn't understand figures of speech.
Mr. Johnson. Hey,
Yes.
listen. Why couldn't God say that 4,000 years ago? Why you saying it now? Why couldn't you? Are you saying God was incapable of saying what he actually meant back then, and you got the answer?
No, he's speaking to a particular group of people that understand exactly what he's saying. So that's why you don't see these questions way back then, because
they understand it.
Yes.
Well, if they understand it, then why is it that they wrote it the way they wrote it like that? Then, if they understood it, why didn't they just write it like what you were saying right now? Because that would have helped me better understand. No, God,
that would have helped. That would have helped who understand?
That would have helped me to understand what's going on. Because that would have helped me to understand what's going on.
You in 2025, it would have helped big old you. But them who understand.
Walk with Desperate has donated NZ $2.00 and says 317p. This guy cooking you, bro. NGL.
What happened?
That off, bro.
Hey, this dude is crazy.
What happened?
And for New Zealand dollars though, is wild, bro. I'm gonna have to figure out some way to change it so it only allows U.S. currency. But
so if you understand exactly what God, if you said they understood exactly what God meant, right? That's what you said.
Did they understand the language? That's like you saying like, hey, bro, we gonna meet up at the bar at 6, and I say, all right, bet. Right? Me and you have an understanding as to what that means. Now,
so what does search mean? Then?
If hold on. If people later on discover this communication between us and they say, oh, Elijah placed a wager because that's what bet means, right? They'd be incorrect.
So Johnson, so when he says that he searched, what does that actually mean?
All that means is that he looks at what's within. He takes into account that which lies within you rather than just what you're displaying outwardly.
So when it says God searched the heart, right? He's looking, right?
Not literally.
Wait, hold on, Johnson. When you go on your house, right, and you know you put something somewhere, do you go and you look for it? Do you go searching for it?
It's not literally. With God, there's language that's used called anthropomorphic language. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, and it should have a meaning to it. Like when God say that he's angry, do you believe that God really is angry, brother?
No.
You don't believe God has emotions or he gets angry?
No.
Damn, you got an AI for a God then.
God. Do you believe the scripture where it says that God is?
For a God, you worse than the Muslims.
Do you understand the scripture where it says that God is love?
Yeah, that's the emotion, right?
No, love is like it's an action. So
damn. What about when it says he's angry? You don't believe he gets angry?
No, so anger and things like that, those are going to be passions. So you're saying that the things that creatures
Josh
do.
Lawrence has donated $1.99 and says 3:20 p.m. we losing brain cells, get brought out of here.
Hey, he donated $2 to get you up out of here, bro. I gotta
Oh,
listen.
you gonna take the money?
I
See, look
got
at you. You already
that's $2, bro. You got
that's
did
what
you
I'm
get
saying.
hey did you get $2 to stay up
That's
here?
crackhead. That's crackhead money, man. That's like $2 Fabo.
$2, bro. You could get a
Crackhead money.
McDouble with $2, bro.
Every crackhead come and ask you for $2, bro.
You be getting asked for $2? They asked you specifically for $2?
In America, every crackhead always specifically asks for $2, and you gonna take the $2?
That's what the people want. What am I supposed to do? So I got one dude that's not donating no money, and I got another dude that is donating money. I'm gonna go with the dude that's donating money. What you mean?
Well, take the $2 then, brother. It's all good.
Appreciate the blessing, brother. Toodaloo. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Hey, man, shout out to Josh. And my fiance wanted you gone, so she could have just dropped you off on GP. But what'd you say?
I said that was unbearable. I'll be so real.
Oh my days, bro. W background, appreciate it. Is Vinland Saga really that fired? Yes, it actually is. Vinland Saga helped me on a personal level. I feel like I got dumber. That's a huge statement. That's a huge statement. That's a scary statement. Not gonna lie to you.
You said Vinland Saga is a huge part of your life. Is that what you said?
No, I said it changed me.
Oh,
Shogun was good. Yeah.
Like on a spiritual level, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it did. Like, I'm not even gonna hold.
Makes sense. I see you're reposting like Vinland Saga.
Bro, no, the edits is fire. But like his growth, like Thorfinn's growth, bro. It make a grown man cry, bro. I'm like, and like I really connected with Buddy in season 1. Cause
you know what? I was out here killing niggas. I was out here.
Nah, I wasn't killing. I wasn't killing folks.
God got to me.
I wasn't
alive, nigga.
Nah, but like it's the place of like all this anger and this rage that you just have bubbling up within you, that when he loses that, he like loses his purpose, and he doesn't really understand what's the point of life anymore. And I remember I found myself in a place like that. And then you're going on this journey, and it's like what you feel like is these meaningless tasks. Along the way, you end up meeting people that make everything worthwhile. You still want to watch it? All right, I ain't gonna say much, but you end up meeting people that make life worth living, I guess. And as well as the idea behind the enemies that you think that you have. That's something that really connected with me, and trying not to act in certain ways. That stuff really did speak to me, because I'm like, dang, like I need to be better. That's like usually when I watch something, and it has some underlying theme, I'm like, damn, like I need to be better. Like I was watching what's that show that Cam told me to watch? Full Metal Alchemist. Right? I was watching that the other day, and they put him in like the wilderness for training or something like that. And like they're starving to death. The two brothers, they starve and they bite themselves, and he eats some ants because he was finna die. He eats some ants, and he was like, man, like I had to eat life in order to like keep on living. And it was such a simple statement, but I was like, damn. That's what we have to do in partaking in a sacrament. I was like, the reason, like, this is the sustaining of our like life and our everlasting life happens when we partake in Him who is life. And I don't know if that's what they was trying to get at. I don't think that's what they was trying to get at all.
Donated $1.99 and says 3:25 p.m. Can we get you, Nick and Jordan, on a cook sesh?
I think that's definitely possible. Me, Nick, and Jordan. Now, if I'm on a live with Jordan, he not gonna let me speak. That's just how it go. So if I'm on live with all three of them, I'm gonna be the dude that's just doing this. They're gonna be like, Elijah, pull up Genesis 22, and this is just gonna be me. I'm gonna be pulling it up, right? Because that's what Jordan loved to do, right? And I don't mind, Jordan a lot better than me in like every aspect of apologetics, dang near. I think the only thing that I'm better than Jordan in is not going to be a topic, but Jordan talked to people like he expects them to know the things that he knows. So there's a lot of times where you could watch Jordan and you be like, dang, I don't know either. And Jordan be like, this is basic, man. But that's because Jordan has written 15 books on that specific topic. So Jordan feel like the things that he know is elementary. And he expect everybody to know the elementary things.
Bro, I heard him say to a Muslim once, like while explaining like essence energy distinctions, this is base. I genuinely
Jordan genuinely believe that. Like he don't play about that. So like there's sometimes where he could be talking to somebody and that dude might not understand anything because like Jordan expects him to know the basics. He expects everybody, his crowd included, to know the basics. Nobody, what's up?
Yo, this is Stu. I changed my profile, so
Stu?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up?
I spoke to you a while ago, but do you think there's, when it comes to the Bible or just Christianity, are there any imperfections? Like, because a lot of people that they come up here and they talk about I guess the Genesis and how the world's created, and like they try to, I guess, make it seem so, like, try to simplify it down to like, or they want a simplified explanation of how it's all created, and like try to get it on a scientific type of level.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to state is like, do you think there's any imperfections when it comes to just like the Bible and what it's trying to teach and promote? Like,
yeah, no. So I would say there's no like imperfections in regards to what it's trying to teach and promote. There'll be imperfections in regards to interpretation. So like this is why interpretation is very significant, and which is why like I would encourage reading the church fathers. So for example, we'll take your Genesis example. So my favorite Saint Augustine, he had a hard time coming to like Orthodox Christianity specifically because of the Genesis narrative, right? He was like, this doesn't line up, ooh, wham. So he had a hard time believing in the book of Genesis. And then he came across what we now know as a church father named St. Ambrose of Milan. And St. Ambrose was teaching on Genesis, but he was giving a different interpretation, specifically a more spiritual and allegorical interpretation, which then pushed St. Augustine to relook at Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 through a different lens. Now, that then moves St. Augustine. Obviously, he comes over to Orthodox Christianity, but he writes like over 5 different interpretations of Genesis, the last being a literal interpretation of Genesis, which I would definitely recommend. And he gives a way in which it can properly be understood. But there's interpretations in regards to Genesis of how, it's outlining a prophecy of life rather than giving an account. St. Augustine, he lays out that like what he's been taught and what he believes is that God lays out the causal principles for things to come about. So rather, because human minds understand stories and things in a succession of events, God gives you a creative account in a succession of events, but that's not actually how it took place. But they're trying to dumb something down, which you can never comprehend, namely creation out of nothing. Right? So Like what the writer is trying to do is dumb down an idea that you yourself couldn't comprehend. So he puts it in a succession of events because we understand stories with beginning, middle, and end.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Do you think when it comes to, because like I've been watching you for a while, do you think
Thank
there's
you.
anything that's um as far as like the Christian values and the Bible that I haven't seen it, but like do you think there's any falsified evidence of the faith of the Bible,
Um, I mean, I
or
think that
like
there's a
I guess like good art, like a good argument?
yeah, I think
Um,
that there's plenty of good arguments against Christianity. I think that they have good counter arguments, which are sufficient like to defeat the argument, but I wouldn't say that it's a bad argument. So, um, you have certain things like the logical problem of the Trinity, which has been presented, but I think it's been refuted on many different accounts. People still hold to them, but I think the logical problem of the Trinity, whichever one you want to appeal to, it has been refuted. I think that that's an okay argument. I think one of the best arguments that one can put forth is going to be the problem of evil and the problem of suffering. However, I think that Christianity gives the best account for the problem of suffering and the existence of God. Um, I think that those are going in regards to like the Bible. I think the best objections that you're going to get for Christianity or against Christianity might come from the Jews. They've had time to scheme so many different types of objections and weird niche ones that you might have never heard of, where if you come across it, that you might be like, that's a good argument. And to that, I would suggest Dr. Michael Brown's different volumes of books of answering Jewish objections, where he literally goes through like every single one and he gives a well more than sufficient answer to each objection. So I think that each objection put forth, they can sound good, even like the manuscript. Oh, the Gospels are anonymous technically. But then when you further look into it, it's not as good of an argument as you think, and Christianity has answers to these objections.
do you think Christianity exists outside of Earth?
Christianity exists outside of Earth.
Yes. Like,
So I would say that, like you're saying, if humans didn't exist, would Christianity exist?
um, if humans exist, will
No, if
Christianity?
humans didn't exist, would Christianity? Is that what you're asking?
I guess kind of, but like, do you think God exists in other worlds, basically?
I think that
Like,
God exists in every possible world. Yes. I don't think
okay.
you have a possible world in which God doesn't exist, because God would be that which grants existence to each like possible world, and that God would be the triune God. Yeah, but like, say for instance, is it logically possible that like Adam and Eve don't eat of the tree, so Jesus doesn't have to die and rise from the dead? So you don't have that version. Is that like, can you conceive of an idea? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that like God, the triune God doesn't exist and the Son isn't God and stuff like that.
So you think they they may not know Jesus exists, but they know God exists?
No, no, no. I'm saying that the events that unfolded in this universe, which is the only one that we know of, like you could conceive of another universe where the event of the crucifixion did not have to take place because Adam and Eve did not sin. Right? You could at least conceive of one. So if you're saying that Christianity is the follower of Christ who came down in the flesh and died and rose again, then like, that event didn't take place in another possible world where Adam and Eve did not sin. But it does not mean that the Christian God of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit did not exist. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit exist in every single possible world.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Um, that's all I got for now.
Okay. Well, if you have any more questions, you already know. Feel free to come back.
Will do. Appreciate you.
Yeah, God bless.
You too.
You said problem of evil is the worst one. I heard Tim on John's live answer the problem of evil. It was really, really good.
Who's Tim?
The black guy.
The fuck?
I think his name is Doxastic Mastery.
Oh yeah, that guy. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, he gave a pretty good answer. I think the church fathers give really good answers in how to explain it, and I think like worldview mastery. That's one of the things that I love about like the church fathers and stuff like that is like you can read on these things, and Christianity becomes so much more beautiful. Like, my fiance and we was watching a movie last night. It was called The Assessment. All right, a sick movie, but one of the things that was said really stood out to me. It was like, end of the world type deal happened or whatever, and they created some kind of utopia, right? And they were explaining how things got so bad, and she was sitting there and she said that back in the day, people used to like pray for summer, and we loved summer so much. And then summer came and it never left. And the crops dried up and we began to fight each other for food. And it just made me think about how all these things that we don't like, right? Like winter, for example, like people dread the winter. But if we didn't have it, like if we didn't have these changing of seasons, and we have everything that we desire, like a never ending summer, we end up suffering in ways that we didn't foresee. And sometimes God limits that which we desire and that which we view as good, because too much of it, of what you desire, could end in your own destruction. And I thought that particularly was beautiful. And Christianity just goes through all of it. Like it talks about all of it, and you see how much God loves you in the midst of your suffering, in the midst of pain, in the midst of everything that's going on. God is still God, and God is still good, and it's not just a statement, but they explain it. Christianity is a religion that is built out of suffering, and it is a God that is present in the midst of suffering. And unfortunately, like a lot of people, they end up, taking their life or whatever the case may be, because they feel alone in the midst of their suffering. And that's one of the reasons as to why Christ dies for us, is that we can see that there is an ever-present God in the midst of suffering. And one of my favorite last words of Jesus on the cross is when he turns to the thief on the cross and he says, "Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." This man is in the midst of his suffering, in agonizing pain, and he looks over at a beaten up Savior, and as yet he is still able to recognize that this is God. And he calls out to him, and Christ saves him. Now, that doesn't mean that his physical agony ceased. It doesn't mean that his current situation stopped to be what it was, or his current physical situation. But his life and his death was no longer meaningless, because he attached himself to the one who is life. And that's what Christianity is. It's not that, hey, when you give your life to Christ, that your current physical situation ceases to be what it is. But your spiritual and prayerfully, if you can get your mental in line with your spiritual, would forever be changed to be what it was. So where I used to be depressed, where I used to be hopeless and nihilistic, I no longer have to be, because I understand the God in whom I serve. And in the midst of all my suffering, he is here and he aids me and he strengthens me with just enough to make it through today, so that I don't get too prideful to then leave him and say I could do it all by myself. No, daily I come back to him asking for the strength needed to be the person that he needs me to be. And that's one of the things that I love about Christianity. So I think the problem of evil and the arguments that it brings is very, very good for Christianity. And the arguments that everybody brings is good for Christianity because it gives Christianity the space to show that God has answers and he hears the objections and he wants to provide these things, but he wants you to seek him. So sometimes it might come in the easy form of a guy on TikTok, but sometimes you might have to read a little bit. But once you obtain it, it's something that you'll never want to let go. And it'd be worth it because you searched for it and you found it. Right? It's like, I remember my grandfather for my birthday, I can't remember how old I was, but he gave me a gold coin, right? It was like maybe $1 coin size, but it was gold. And it was worth like $50 at the time. I wish I had it now because my God, I need that money and the price of gold has went up. They gave me a gold coin, and I ended up, once I moved, especially to college, I lost it. And I think about that now. And I think about like gold miners and people who search and search and search for just a flake, for a small nugget that's half the size, if that, of the coin that I was given. And they value that so much more because of how much effort it took for them to find. Whereas me, I lost the thing that was given because I did not recognize the value and how much work it took to achieve said gold coin. So sometimes people just want answers given, but if given the way in which you want it to be, you won't value it. So then you'll lose it. But when you search for just a nugget, you'll find that it's so much more valuable than you originally thought because of how much work you put in to receive it. That being said, God knows what he's doing, man. So trust in God. I think that's a good place to end the live.
And the live? What?
I mean, yeah.
Why?
We ain't got no more guests.
So what? You can wait.
So what? You can wait.
All right, nigga.
Nah, I got pinged on work. I have to do something for a grant. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna make sure, because they just let me go to Hawaii, so I should make sure that this stuff gets done today. I appreciate you guys. Please, if you don't follow me, follow me. I'll be trying to go live more often. If you aren't subscribed to me on YouTube, please go subscribe. All of that stuff helps. Thanks to everyone that sent in a super chat and to test out that the text-to-speech does work. A lot of you guys trolled. I appreciate that. But God bless you guys. You just realized that it was Thorfinn in the background? Okay,
Yeah.
buddy.
No, not Thorfinn being in the background. Like I didn't see the background entirely.
Oh.
I just saw the text where he said, "I have no enemies." I was like, "Oh, that's Thorfinn." Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, and you see the little crescent moon for the Muslims?
I know damn well you didn't intentionally pick that up.
Hey, man, you don't know my decision-making skills, bro.
All right, end your life.
But all right, man, God bless you guys. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the blessed Holy Spirit, I pray that all of you guys are well.